I want to talk about American audacity. We, at this moment, are occupying a nation under the auspices of fighting terrorism. We have been in occupation of one of the more oil-rich nations in the Middle East for quite some time now, wasting American lives and wasting American money and wasting American fuel. Now, all of a sudden, Russia decides it's going to do something on its front and deal with a situation that's really none of our damn business. If we look at it from Russia's perspective, we see American imperialism. Well, who would know better about imperialism than a country that's been imperialistic in its own right? Not that imperialism is good, but the bottom line is an imperialist nation is calling an imperialist nation down. America starts to make overtures towards Georgia, decides it will sponsor Georgia in the UN. And what does Russia see? Well, Russia sees America occupying an oil-rich nation and then blocking the path to another oil-rich nation, Iran, which we and Israel have been making overtures and saber-rattling to the fact that we may attack Iran. Well, what does that do for Russia? Russia suddenly sees missiles on its border, blockades, so to speak, of diplomatic nature on its borders, and we act all put out and aghast and upset when this country decides that it's going to secure its borders from imperialism overseas, which happens to be American imperialism. Let's face it, let's call a spade a spade. Let's call it. Russia doesn't want to see America have complete control of that entire area. It's chess. Let's look at it. It's chess. You say America has Iraq. Okay, well, Russia looks at America and says, the hell with you. You can have Iraq. Fine, we didn't say shit about you being there. So you stay away from Iran. And the way we're going to make sure you stay away from Iran is we're going to kick butt in Georgia, take control of some area there, and stay there. And here we have Condoleezza Rice complaining that Russia's taking its sweet time pulling out of Georgia, when what have we done? What has America done? It's taking its sweet-ass time pulling out of Iraq. Now, I don't care what anybody says about terrorism or about, Al-Qaeda or Bin Laden, for that matter. I mean, we're beating a dead horse, let's face it. If they come over here and attack us again, yeah, kick butt. That's the way it is. But so far, all I see is an occupation. And all I see is an occupation under the auspices of fighting terrorism to control oil. Well, that's what Russia sees. That's exactly what Russia sees. And who can blame a country like Russia for stopping something that it will not put up with? It will not stand for American imperialism. And for America to call Russia down for doing what it has done is the most ridiculous, audacious thing any country could do, especially this country. And you guys out there, you flag-waving imperialists, can kiss my ass, because the bottom line is at this point in time, we are nothing more than imperialists at this point in time in Iraq. Any longer than we have outweighed our welcome, we've worn out the stay. We've become an imperialist nation. Now, America, and I am part of that country, this country, America. Wake up. I keep telling you, wake up. We do not have a government that is functioning to our benefit. It's ridiculous. It's absurd to think that Russia is going to lay down while we go to bed with China, while we get all cozy, economically cozy with China, and stick our thumb up at Russia. It's ridiculous. It's outrageous. I don't even understand it. Now, to change the subject for a minute, I haven't been watching the Olympics for obvious reasons. I'm not real fond of what's going on in terms of the entire event. With all due respect to the athletes who have worked so hard, I did catch part of the gymnastics, and what I saw, aside from the great swimming and by our greatest athlete who's winning all the gold, there was one person that got my attention, and that person was a single mother from Russia who had defected to Germany to get her leukemia-ridden son help. She called her friend who was a gymnastics coach, and asked her to help her. She said she would compete for Germany. The woman yesterday won a silver medal. She is 31 years old. And in my opinion, a single mother who has turned her back on her own country to get aid for her son, which her own country wouldn't give her, and has taken herself to the limits at her age as a single mother, and winning a silver medal at the Olympics is the most unbelievable thing I have ever seen in my life in terms of the Olympics. I applaud her. I have more respect for her than any other Olympian at this point in time, because that woman had so much more to lose and far more to gain by doing what she has done. And since her move to Germany, her child is doing better, is getting help, and he himself is doing gymnastics and going to the gym with his mother. So I applaud her. I am so sorry I don't remember her name, but I applaud the 31-year-old Russian defector to Germany who has won a silver medal at the Olympics. That, to me, is the greatest victory at the Olympics than any of the others, and I don't care what anybody says. I'm not going to draw lines and go rah-rah for my guys. The bottom line is that's not what the Olympics are about. And I believe she, more than anyone, has proven what the Olympics was really about. And I applaud her. God bless her. Now, back to what I was saying. American audacity. It's ridiculous for Condoleezza Rice to even be bellyaching about Russia being in Georgia when we haven't done a damn thing to get the hell out of Iraq. Come on. So here's what I have to say about that. It's just American audacity. Once again, we have a government that has the audacity, I keep using that word because that's what it is, to complain about something that some other country has done that we have done ourselves and are continuing to do. So, Mr. Bush, you're an asshole. Condoleezza Rice, you're his hoe. You guys make me sick. I don't care what anybody has to say about it. This is not a right-wing or left-wing thing. This is just a common sense perspective that how can anyone blame Russia for what it's doing? I mean, it's common knowledge that Russia intends to run a pipeline through there into Iran to get oil. I mean, that's the way it is. So when it sees America making overtures to block their way, what the hell do they expect? What the hell does Bush expect? I mean, they're pushing the buttons. Now, there's the entire other perspective that all of this could be orchestrated simply to gain sway across the board, and maybe Russia, America, and China are all sitting at the table together laughing at us common people because it's all just a ruse anyway. They're good buddies because they all share the same banker. I mean, that's a possibility. Well, the greatest conspiracy people I know have stated that the truth of it is that nobody is an enemy in terms of the big three. They're all buddies, and all they're doing is keeping us all divided from each other to believe that we are at odds, simply so they could keep control of the masses and maintain the caste system, for lack of a better term. So this is food for thought, and I once again applaud the Russian defector to Germany who has the single mother who has won a silver medal. God bless her. And goddamn Bush and goddamn Condoleezza Rice for being so blatantly stupid as to think that I would believe that Russia is being evil for doing what it's doing when we have done nothing better. So that's it. If you don't like what I said, too bad. God bless America, and God bless the real people of America, not the bullshitters.
I'm the dictator. I'm the dictator. I'm the dictator. If this were a dictatorship, it'd be a heck of a lot easier. I'm the dictator. I'm the dictator. I'm the dictator. If this were a dictatorship, it'd be a heck of a lot easier. I'm the dictator. I'm the dictator. I'm the dictator. I'm the dictator. I'm the dictator.